guys, welcome back to my channel, TechGalDiaries. Now today I am going to introduce to you the basics of domain investing. Now what is a domain? Well, when you type in something like www.jasminewoo.com or whatever, that is domain that somebody has typically bought. Now, you can purchase a domain for yourself or for whatever purposes, like a blog or a business that you have, or you could purchase a portfolio of these domains for somebody else and you hold on to them so that potentially later on down the line an individual or a company comes along and they really want this domain and they purchase it from you at a higher price so that they can do whatever they want with it. Now, why do I think that this is a good investment? Is because it's typically very simple to do for beginners. There's not a lot of random things that you need to learn, a lot of like technical things that you need to understand before you can get started with it, and domains are not very expensive, so I just think it's a really cool investment opportunity for beginners to get into. And domains are basically like digital real estate, and now is the perfect time for you to start purchasing these domains because they will just get more and more rare later on down the line when more of these are getting taken up, especially those with popular domain endings such as .com. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we must do if we're going into this business is that we want to figure out what domain names we want to purchase. So let's say we did a research and we found a domain name, and let's just type it in here. So let's say TechGalDiaries.com, and then it says that it's available. So we can then go ahead and scroll down. You can see a lot of different domain names that you could get along with it, but let's just say we only want this one. So we can then just click on this, continue to cart, and then we can add on these bonuses like domain privacy, email, start a website for free and stuff. But let's just say we don't want any of that, and then we can just go on to the next step, and we can see that the total cost will be around $28 for this one domain. And what we do at this step is then we go ahead to other domain websites and then compare prices. So another one that I like is namecheap.com, and as you can see here, TechGalDiaries on here is about $11.2 a year, while on here the first year is about $3 and the second year is $25. So you can look and compare these prices across the board. But one that I really like right now is called ionos.com, and they have a deal which is giving you $1 for your first year and then $15 for your next year. So right now, as you can see, it is $1 for your first year, and there's no minimum, so you can actually just select 1 year and you only have to pay $1. Now, I just showed you what you must do if you have a domain name that isn't already registered. This is the steps that you would take to purchase a domain like that. But however, say you go onto like a random website, let's go to monet.ca here as I typed in, and then what happens is it leads me to this website and says this domain is already registered. Now what do? Somebody else already bought it, but say you really want this domain. Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. First of all, sometimes if it's on a GoDaddy website, there's a button that will say contact the buyer or purchase, and it will actually state the price so you can purchase it. However, in this case, it doesn't have a lot of information up here. So what we'll do is we go to this website, and I'll put the link to this in the description below, but it's a who is domain lookup, and it basically gives you more information about who this domain belongs to. So we can type in www.monet.ca, and then it should be able to tell us more information about how we can contact the person that owns this domain. And now we can see that the current registrant of this domain is Cody Tritter, and he lives in Calgary, I guess. And then we can search this person up either through their LinkedIn or like whatever information they have online, try to get the email, contact them, ask them if they're selling this domain, how much it will be. And this is basically some of the steps that you would do if you're trying to get a domain that's already registered. Another way that you can get a domain name if somebody else already purchased it is that you can order a domain backorder. Now what a domain backorder is think of it like a ticket that you get at the supermarket while in line. It's basically saying that once this domain name expires, say that original buyer, they don't want to renew it anymore, it's going to expire in a year or so, then the domain backorder makes sure that you're in line so that when it does expire and available, you're the person who gets to purchase it next. So it has free daily monitoring to keep an eye on your domain, and it includes your registration cost, and basically somebody else has it right now, but if you have this ticket in line, then you'll be able to make sure that you're somebody who may potentially get it next. So that's one way that you could get a popular domain name if you don't want to keep checking it yourself and contacting that person. Say that person is unresponsive, you're not able to get a hold of them. Try out getting a domain backorder. I think it's a pretty fair shot at getting the domain name at you. Okay, now say that you got your domain and everything. Now what do you do with it? Well, let me tell you. First of all, the most common one that you probably know of is you could put your own website on it. You could use like their hosting website to make the website, or you could connect it to your own WordPress or get a developer to make it, or if you're using something like Wix or Squarespace or anything, they usually let you connect domain names to that website, so you can do whatever you want with it once you have this domain name. You can also connect your domain to an email address that matches your domain, so that if you have like a business or like a personal brand, it can look more professional if you have an @jasminewu.com email or something like that. So that's another thing you can do with your domain. And another thing that you can do is, say you have this web address and you don't really want a website on it, you don't want to have an email on it, you don't really have a real use for it. Another thing you could do is forward that domain to something that you use more. So say you have this domain address, you can forward to like a social media site, another website, an online store, or even like a YouTube channel. So for example, let's say that I have this domain name, right? And then what I do is I can connect it and forward it to another a website that I own. So I bought this domain and then I connected it to my YouTube channel. So when I type it in, it now redirects to my YouTube channel. So you could do this with any domain that you want. You can literally get any domain on the internet, forward them all to like something that you own. So that's something cool that you could do with these domain names. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is that a lot of these websites that sell domains also have buying and selling functions, so that you can use them to help purchase new ones or sell the domains that you own. And for example, GoDaddy has something called Investor's Edge and GoDaddy auction listings. And then on the Investor's Edge, you can see a bunch of domains and it tells you their status and you can see more information about them. And then on the auction platform, you can actually sell or list domains, and you can bid on other domains that are being sold. So that's another way that you can see what's out there and buy and sell these domains. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little tutorial / introduction to domain investing. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. But anyways, I'll be seeing you guys soon. I will be a little bit busy because of school and midterms, but I'll try to post again as soon as possible, and I will see you guys next time.